enlightening. I want to remind people about this connection between zombies, like theoretically anyway, zombies and nanobots. Like, if you're unfamiliar with what a nanobot is, like, look, here's some titles you could look up, or some terms: smart dust, programmable matter, nanoparticuli, Morgellons. These are all potentially related subjects. But all right, so in theory, you can have like the bicyclist guy who swallows a microchip and then goes through his system and they track the temperature of his body. For instance, like think about a bunch of those things smaller in size, but all in the bloodstream. And imagine if these things are magnetic, so they can attract one another, and then they can, like, just like a human organ is made up of cells. The skin is made up of a bunch of similar cells. The organs, the heart is made up of similar cells. It's just an organ is a bunch of tissue, which is a bunch of specialized cells, and it's just clumps of them. So you could think of nanobots as mechanical electronic cells, like that exist within your bloodstream because they're microscopic. They're smaller than the eye can see. They're small as the cells themselves, and actually, they're designed in such a way because it'd be most efficient for it to be a foreign body inside of the body. Just like viruses, they copy the size and shapes of the natural things so they can slide in and out of the barriers. And so, if these things can get inside of your body, and let's say they let's just say they repaired an organ, so they all clump together at your bad organ and replace the organ by just the same way, replicating in a similar fashion as cells do themselves. Like, that's the thing about this is like, have they figured it out yet? You know what I'm saying? I mean, they have the whole genome, so in a way, you make this synthetic, metallic, computertronic DNA. And these things they got their own genome, basically, their electronic, mechanical genome. And if it's AI, then it can look at itself, and just like us, as we kind of like adapt over generations and take on different characteristics to suit us to better survive in our environment. You know what I'm saying? Because you can take anyone out of their environment, and over time, down the line, their family members will adapt to survive better in that environment. That's the way it works. You throw out evolution, throw in adaptivity, and then that's the true model that you should really look at things, because all things are based after their own kind. They just get adapted and specialized to certain environments, and that's where you get your deviations and look. But yet, a lizard's a lizard. A big lizard, a little lizard. They're basically anatomically identical. They just have variations, and that's how you get the variation. Anyway, same thing with, theoretically, with these nanobots. If say they've already been out for years, they've been testing them, they've had them out inside of people, inside of animals, they've been spraying them out of planes. These things already would have had a few generations to adapt to better and get better designs more efficiently. But so it's like we have cannibal attacks and zombie attacks. There's been probably about 30 times where someone was either they went bape, or they started biting people or eating people or getting naked. That's another thing that they do. They throw off all their clothing, and they want to say that it was some kind of drug that did that, but that just doesn't. I don't know, man. That's not proven yet. So you can still look for other possible ways that this is caused. And theoretically, now you could have these nanobots inside of someone, right? And let's say that the person died, but the nanobots inside that, let's say they hijack the system. Instead of the life force that's in you, your consciousness, say that it died, but these things artificially will keep this vehicle that they live in alive. and keep on fighting. And then maybe that'll be the way that the machines themselves, they're going to need energy just like us. So maybe, you know what I'm saying, them trying to eat actual more human would be the best fuel for these things, if that's what the nanobots actually live off of anyway. Is you could think of them as kind of like a parasite as well, or a symbiotic relationship where they depend on the human flesh as well as so it'd be beneficial to them to keep their vehicle alive. Unless it would be even better for these machines if they cut off your brain, take it over anyway, and then they're just part of a hive system of Walking Dead ghoul, brain flesh seeking zombie type situations. Or I even seen there's a video. It was like 5 reasons why that a zombie apocalypse is actually possible, and one of the possible causes was nanobots. So nanotechnology, it's not all just the utopia, the mechanical transhumanistic utopia of the future. There's actually also a lot of ugly Murphy's Law type situations that could happen with AI, that the machines want to take over, and then you got the what's it called, the Terminator scenario. But you could have a sort of Terminator type scenario mixed, intermingled with the Walking Dead type scenario when you got these machines. Because I mean, say that would be the foot soldiers of the Terminators. What if it was zombied out, nanobotted, uh, human flesh suit type of suicide Terminators? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of uh, exaggerating here, throwing out some ideas, some potentialities. But it's just there's so much going on right now. I ain't heard much about zombies, but when it starts happening, the consistency like it did there, I'd imagine to see it happen more and more as time progresses. Like, seems like some kind of a bio weapon. That's what I would call it. Uh, because it's been telegraphed so much, and predictive programming is so abundant and out there, that uh, there's got to be more to it than just it being a snazzy, catchy sci-fi franchise.